Hannah and welcome to It's a Whimsical Life. In today's video, I'm going to be talking to you about a little bit about myself and what you can expect to see on this channel. This is a whole new venture for me, so buckle up and join me for the ride. And yes, I'm really cheesy. I'm a mom. It happens. Anyway, like I said, this is new to me. And unfortunately, I am filming in the middle of the night because that's just kind of how these things happen in my house. And I am in the room with all my pets. So I apologize for all the background noise of wheels and food and just general skittering and all of that. Anyway, let's get started. A YouTube channel to tie it in a lot with my business. But that's not the only thing that I thought I could put on here. So I'm going to kind of go into my story, what my business is. Many of you here have been waiting quite some time for me to start posting content. And I want to go ahead and thank all the 200 plus subscribers that are already here on the channel that have been waiting so patiently. Thank you so much. But anyway, as I said earlier, my name is Hannah and I am the owner, operator, mastermind behind the small business Whimsical. If you don't know what Whimsical is, it is a very small, like I said, it's just me, business that I started about 4 years ago making handmade small pet accessories. So these are going to be anything that you would need for a hedgehog, a guinea pig, chinchillas. I can make hanging things for rats and sugar gliders, ferrets, you name it. I can probably make it even if it's not on my shop. It was something that I started very small time, very small, that has grown into being quite a bit more than I ever imagined it would be. So some of what you'll be seeing on my channel are going to be things that are directly related to my business. So some of the things that will be coming up are going to be product videos. I will have an individual video for all the products I make at one point in time. I still have a lot of filming to do as that goes, so just be patient with me and you'll be seeing some of that. But I thought, you guys would also kind of want to know a little bit more about me, and that's kind of the purpose of this channel. You'll get to see more of me, more of my life, more of the things that kind of revolve around my creativity, my business, and my animals, because I do have several pets myself, and I really enjoy them. And I have also really enjoyed watching other people's pets on YouTube, so I thought, why not give this a try? So, as I've said before, and remember, I'm brand new at this. I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no idea how good or horrible this is going to be when I get it all put together. But my name's Hannah. I live in East Tennessee. I'm in my early 30s. I'm married. I've actually been married for almost 11 years, which is quite some time for my age. I did get married very young. I have 3 kids. They are all boys. They're all fantastic. I love them to pieces. But my life is certainly loud, busy, and crazy thanks to my kids. And they are all ranging in age. Well, I have my oldest one is, and they're, if I can talk, like I said, just forgive me. My older 2 children are in elementary school, and then my youngest is a toddler. So like I said, life is crazy. I don't know why I thought I had time to do this, and that's one of the many reasons why it's taken me so long to get this filmed, let alone uploaded and edited and all that good stuff. But anyway, that's my main job. Whimsical is something I adore, I love, I really enjoy it, but it is something that I consider to be part-time. I do tend to put full-time hours into it. But I try not to work a lot on the weekends. There are other days that, I may not get a lot of stuff done work-wise, just simply because there's a lot going on in our family life. And they are my main priority and my number one responsibility. So that's one of the reasons why I'm one of those Etsy shops that does have a longer turnaround time. My family is a huge contributing factor to that turnaround time because, excuse me, you never know when someone's going to wake up throwing up in the middle of the night, or, they get called home from school early. There's a number of things that just pop up. Life happens, and I have a longer turnaround time to accommodate that. I'm also quite busy, so that plays into it as well. But Whimsical, like I said, started about 4 years ago. And I guess before I kind of get into that, I should give you a little bit more of a background on myself. Ever since I was a little girl, I have always loved animals. I've always loved to be creative. I've always been pretty artistic. I've really loved to draw and sketch and doodle. And I was one of those kids that, would color every single inch of a coloring book page, and was always very vibrant, and I colored in the lines and all that stuff, entered coloring contests. That was one of my favorite things to do as a kid. Not that I color for work now, but, it still is a creative outlet. But growing up, we really didn't have anything too unusual until I reached kind of, adolescent, teenage years. But there's just a number of reptiles that my brother had that kind of came in and out of our house. And I was interested in other animals, but we weren't ever really in a position to take on more than the dog and cats that we had at the time growing up. My husband grew up with all kinds of animals at various points in time. So he's been a huge animal lover his whole life. So it was just very natural that once we met and got married and had our own place, that we ended up with pets that weren't just a dog or a cat. So several years ago, before we even had kids, we actually had reptiles. I still have a couple of reptiles, but we got into breeding leopard geckos for a couple of years just as a hobby, and it's a hobby that's gotten very popular. The market got really saturated, so I decided to stop breeding. I kept a couple of geckos that I really loved. They did eventually end up getting rehomed just due to a lot of craziness that was going on in our lives, and that was what was best for them at the time. I still believe they're in the same home that they went to. Anyway, like I said, we got into reptiles, and at the time, I can't remember exactly what inspired me to want a hedgehog, but that's what got me into my business. I eventually got really curious about hedgehogs. I'd always kind of knew about them, I guess, and really wanted one, but I got really serious and started doing my research, tried to find a breeder, within a reasonable driving distance to me. I found one that was only about an hour to hour and a half. Well, an hour and a half to 2 hours away from me. Adopted my first baby hedgehog. And when you get into the small pet community and you kind of start looking into that stuff, very quickly you discover this whole world of cozy items and cage accessories. And, I was like, well, these are really cool, but these are already expensive pets, and now I need all this stuff. And a lot of this looks really easy to make if I could just sew. And, I had found myself saying that about a lot of different things. If I could just sew, I could make that. And at the time, I only had 2 kids, and they were both really little. And I mean, with boys, there's not as many things that are fun that you can sew for boys. But still, I had friends having babies, and there's a number of things that are really easy to make yourself if you have the means to do so. So I decided to teach myself. So I did some research, kind of decided to figure out what brand of machine I should kind of go with. Decided to order a refurbished, really inexpensive sewing machine that I ordered from like Walmart.com, had it shipped right to my house. And my thoughts were, if I ended up being really bad, or knowing my luck, like I just have odd luck, like rotten things that really don't happen to other people tend to happen to me. But anyway, I decided that I was going to learn to sew, and if I was going to learn how to do it, I didn't want to have all this money invested in a machine that I was very convinced I was going to break. But turns out I didn't. I think I did take that particular machine in to get some maintenance, but I can't even remember. It was like something really minor, and it was actually like an issue that it came to me with, since it was a refurb. And very quickly, I started making more things and kind of gaining more experience, and it's actually like laughable. I think I have some of the very first items I've ever made floating around in bins somewhere here. If I find them, I'll have to create a whole separate video on it, because I think anybody would be impressed. Excuse me. Like I said, a goal. In the progress that I've made these last 4 years, it's actually pretty incredible. Experience really does help. And I do kind of want to take a minute to encourage those of you watching, just because you're older, or you feel like you maybe have missed your window of opportunity to learn something new. That's not true. Just try. Like, the worst thing that's going to happen is it's not going to be your thing. And, do what I did. Start small. You might even know someone that can help you, that has a tool that they don't mind you kind of tinkering around with, and get into it and try it. Anyway, that was an aside. So at the same time that I got my machine and I was learning how to sew, and I'd just gotten a hedgehog and, kind of getting into this thing, and Etsy was becoming a lot more noticeable. People knew about Etsy. People knew to go there for all kinds of different things. But that at the time was definitely, and I guess it still is, like your premier place to go for things like small pet accessories. And as I mentioned, I had really small kids at the time. And I currently live in East Tennessee. I'm living right outside of my hometown right now. But at that time, we actually were living in South Carolina. And we were only living about 3 hours away from my hometown, but that's still long enough to where, I couldn't just call family over to help me with my kids, or to watch kids, so that I could have, some kind of part-time job or some way to make extra money. And so, I was like, this is fun. I'm enjoying this. I'm getting good feedback on what I'm posting, that, for things I've made myself. I'm going to try this Etsy thing. Because if I could make just a little bit of extra money to put in our budget, that would be great. Because there really was no really other good opportunity for me at the time to do so. And as they say, it's been history since that was history. Really, guys, thank you for watching, because, we're just gonna have to laugh at me like all together right now, and how awkward I am on camera. Anyway, so my Etsy really ended up taking off in a short period of time, and the more I did, the more experience I got. I even ventured out into making my own designs and a couple of original things. Eventually we got to where I had our third child, so I closed my shop for, I think it was about 9 months to a year, just to prepare for a new baby and having a new baby, and enjoying his arrival, and kind of getting this into the swing of things as a family of 5 instead of a family of 4. And when I came back to work, I didn't want to take on the craziness and chaoticness and the busyness that Etsy brings, because Etsy brings you in so much foot traffic, and it's a great thing because it's a great way to be exposed. But I knew when I came back to work that I just wasn't going to be able to keep up with it quite yet. I needed some time to get into the swing of things. And I'm actually really thankful that I made that decision because, let's see, I opened in like mid-January of last year. And then on April 1st, I ended up breaking a finger. But I broke like a knuckle. And I ended up having to have surgery and go through physical therapy. And obviously with the kind of job I have, I use my hands. So I have this lovely scar, but my hands all, you know, working again. But had I had an Etsy shop at the time, that would have been a lot more stressful than it already was. So anyway, I feel like I've talked enough about me and kind of how that came to be. I hope everything I said made sense. Basically, I grew up loving animals and being creative. It made sense to combine the two. It made sense to try this whole Etsy thing. It went well, and, you know, I took a break from Etsy, operated through my Facebook page. So some of you that are here, you know, may have remembered me from way back in the day when I first started. Some of you that are here may have found me when I was on Facebook. Some of you that are here may have just found me. Sorry. But I just want to say I really appreciate all of you being here and bearing with me through this video because, like I said, I'm awkward. I'm getting over it. So as I said, you won't only be seeing stuff related to Whimsical on this channel. You will be getting product videos. Each product will have its own video. That's currently a work in progress. As I mentioned, I have a crazy, busy, chaotic life. I have good intentions, but follow through isn't always there. Or, well, honestly, it's just like craziness that gets in the way. Kids that end up sick or busy or clingy or whiny or I'm sick or, you know, shopping has to get done. You know, life. So that's coming up. I may consider doing vlogs like when I do my supply runs and I go shopping and stuff like that. Probably not every time, but at least one time. And as I've mentioned, I also have my own small pets and just a number of different animals. So I probably won't film all my pets that I have simply because some of them really aren't camera friendly. Some of them are older and cranky and kind of at the end of their days. So I may just kind of let them be. Others are, I mean, most of my pets are actually all nocturnal. Others just like would be boring or I don't know. You probably won't see everyone, but you'll definitely get to see more than likely, definitely my mice, my dwarf hamster. I also have a tenrec. I have a group of rats and probably my leopard gecko. Those are probably going to be the guys that you're going to see pretty regularly. So I'm going to be sharing cage tours. I make a lot of things for my small animals for their cages. So I'll be getting some DIYs when I decide to make stuff. And some of it's just, you know, it's not going to be necessarily anything original that's, you know, completely brand new ideas. But maybe more of a vlog while I DIY. Some things might be original, we'll see. But it really boils down to, like I said, I love to be creative, and that stems into pretty much everything I do. Like I love to make things. I make clothes for my kids. I make stuff for our house. I make things for the pets. So yeah, so there's going to be a number of things, but basically what's going to be on here is going to be, it's either going to be whimsical related or animal related. We do have a couple of pet expos that come through the area, but not a lot and not often. We have at least one coming up in about a month. So I'll probably vlog stuff like that. Occasionally I, you know, kind of do like the whole pet store run. That's stuff other people do, but if you guys are interested, I can vlog those kinds of things. And it's just kind of, this whole process is going to be very organic because, like I said, I'm completely green, newbie to this. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm going to be trying, you know, a number of things. I don't even have any kind of idea of an upload schedule because life. I will try to post at least once a week. It may be more like bi-weekly once everything kind of settles down. Since this is something I'm tying into my business, and I mentioned those product videos, you know, some of that stuff's going to be coming soon, and it's kind of probably going to be a lot of content in a short period of time, but then it's going to slow down. I do have a couple of videos I have already made that I've already worked on that I'll be posting here in the next few days for those of you that are watching this when it's uploaded. But yeah, so whimsical and pet cuteness is what you can expect with a couple of other random things in there. I do very quickly want to, if I can talk, very quickly want to address what you will not be seeing in my videos. I will not be doing any kind of pet care or how-to videos related directly to pet care or pet husbandry. And that's because, like, this is just something that I am doing on the side for fun, like completely for fun. I thought it was a good idea. Others thought the same, and I kind of hashed this out with. And while pet care and like pet husbandry videos are invaluable and they're amazing, it's something that's a huge responsibility. And I have plenty of responsibility in my life right now. It's something that's constantly changing. And it's also something, especially on YouTube, that's subjective, because most pet tubers are not any kind of experts or, you know, any kind of qualified professionals, veterinarians, etc. Most of us are just on here, you know, sharing our knowledge, you know, that we have acquired ourselves after several years or weeks or months or even days of, you know, learning ourselves. And it's just something that I think is a huge commitment and a very big responsibility, and not one to be taken lightly, because people who are going to be watching your channel for care, like how-to videos, are going to take what you say very seriously. And as that information as new information changes and comes out about all kinds of animals and pets, you know, that's information that has to be updated in those kind of content videos. So you won't be seeing anything like that from me. I will probably definitely address different husbandry related things with my specific pets. I might mention, this is how I do this, this is what I feed. It is in no way me telling you this is how you should do it and this is how everyone does it. Basically, the whole point of my channel existing is just to have fun and, you know, to share a little bit more about me when I can, and to give those of you that are interested in my business side kind of a more in-depth and a different way and a different tool for you to see the things that I make. And, you know, for those of you that are interested in some of the pets I have, to get to see them and kind of get to know them a little bit and get to have some fun with that. Much for watching. I really hope when I put all this together, when it's edited, it's not too crazy long, and that I don't want to never film another video ever again. But I'll be on here as soon as I can again soon. I really want to thank you again for watching. Please subscribe, share, all that good stuff that everybody says at the end of a YouTube video, and I will see you next time.